Ready?
Yeah.
Witness history. Once again, by history I mean this last year, about
Yep.
11 months.
Yep.
Fortunately, I have not watched as many TV shows or played as many games since I've been a NEET, or not been a NEET. It's really tragic. What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, I can't believe this is what society has done to our youth.
Exactly. This year only like 72 things here over the last year. Alright. Where do we want to okay, I guess I'll start with, I put this one first. Texas is back. It's not a TV show, or a game, or a movie, but we gotta put that there. What are your thoughts? What's your reaction to this information?
The
I,
Cowboys have not won, and
this is
Texas
these are
has
not
not
the
won.
these are not the Cowboys.
Yeah, but
It's not
that
related.
doesn't, that doesn't change the fundamental problem with your statement.
What's the problem? Well, okay. Also, Texas literally did win the Big 12 today. So,
Well, I'm glad.
besides, I'd say being back is like getting 10 wins. Like, being back doesn't mean they're winning. Like Texas was never really a Bama level dynasty, but they're like consistently good for like a pretty long period of time, and had some like big peak seasons. So getting back to 10 wins, which they already did this season, would have been good. But winning the Big 12, going 12-1, only losing by last minute touchdown to OU, not bad. Fortunately, this one got cropped really bad, but Samantha was pretty fun if you remember playing that.
Uh, I actually
It's like
don't.
it has like a chart. It's like a Wordle type game, but there's like a big chart of like how closely words are related.
Oh, that one. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it just says man, but we know what it is. The aware know.
Yeah. Okay, I understand now.
What's your reaction to this information?
Uh, that game was pretty all right.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I'd put it A. I think B tier is fine. It's like very solid, but I also need. I think I need to make a new tier. Yeah, there we go. What color does it need to be? It's like a maroon. Oh, like gray. All right, this one. This is the Bochi the Rock spinoff manga. It's just okay. It's fine. There's some Yuri fantasy show I watched like 5 episodes on. People said it was good. I didn't really get it. It was okay. It's just seemed like some any other like fantasy show though. This didn't really seem that interesting. I don't know if you played it or watched it before. I mean,
I actually have not. I don't. What wait, I'm also my stream lagged. I had to like. Yeah, I haven't seen it. No.
I'll put it in text readability mode and stuff. Is that any better?
Yeah, way better.
Okay, good. Let's see. Oh, I'm streaming the wrong thing. One second. Change the browser. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Euro Truck Simulator. This game's A tier just because it's really funny. It's got a just chill and listen to stuff game. Just a good vibe game. Really taught me a lot about the. There's not a lot of games I can say had an influence on my life, and Truck Simulator had an influence on my life. It made me a worse driver. It put my life in danger. That's life changing,
It
potentially.
really is. It really is life changing.
Well, okay. Next up, Garen. This isn't League of Legends. This is just Garen. My experience is playing Garen this year, running at people who had much more skill than me, and just hitting them with my point and click silence, then pressing R on them, and practicing my Garen combos, then reaching my goal of getting to Emerald this season for the first time since season two. Felt pretty good.
Yeah.
I was a fan. This game was good. the gameplay is really bad, the graphics are really bad, the production is really bad, and it crashes all the time. But it's part of the fun. Except the fact that it crashes so much and there's not really a good, it's pretty much unplayable on PC. Unfortunately, if I could play it, it'd probably be higher, but I couldn't actually finish it because it kept crashing all the time. It's pretty much unplayable.
Very sad.
There's no like save state, so there's like I think if I remember correctly, there's like specific spots to save, so it's really easy to just lose a bunch of progress. So kind of sucks. If I had an Xbox, I'd play it on Xbox, but fortunately the PC version is pretty much broken.
Okay.
Uh,
What's that top left one?
this one, the next
Yeah,
one,
what is
this is
it?
the Find Love or Die Trying visual novel. The
Oh,
one where he, Carl Anthony Towns had to take the last shot.
I see.
I mean, it was alright. My thoughts on it are that, I mean, it's not particularly unique or memorable, but the,
It's run of the mill.
yeah,
There's
but
nothing wrong with it.
what I do like about it, it feels like it has a lot of, sincerity in a sense. Like, yeah, it's very low budget, and pretty much all the music is from Kevin MacLeod, which is,
Yeah,
it's like very
yeah,
recognizable. It's very obviously
yeah,
him
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
And but I respect it. It's very inspiring. I like games like that. They're very inspiring. Shows like what a very small team of people can do, and I like it for that reason. Even though like the game itself is just
Yeah.
okay. Like I don't remember this game that much. It was okay. I just played it for a little bit while I was tripping on shrooms, and I was like, "Whoa, this is really cool." It's definitely a good like get high, do shrooms, do whatever, and play type game. I don't know if it's actually fun or not. I just thought it was neat to look at.
I see.
Let's see. The Near anime was the first episode is really bad. It's really badly animated, and it's just like a really boring retelling of the game. But then after that, it wasn't so bad, and there's a lot of interesting differences from the game that actually made it feel pretty unique. The downside is it got like semi canceled like halfway
Sad.
through, so I never finished watching it.
Did you read the manga or watch the anime for Tomo?
I saw the anime.
Hmm.
I'd say it's pretty good. It's definitely better than I thought it'd be.
No, it's definitely it's one of the better one of these types of
Yeah,
stories.
I thought it wouldn't be that good, but I actually like the side characters more, like Carol and the whatever her
Yeah,
other name
that's
is.
a classic. Everybody loves Carol
Yeah,
and the emo chick. Yeah, they're my favorites.
my take is she's not emo. She's just like
Oh, her emo. She has an emo style. She's not emo.
I
You
didn't
know.
say like she has an emo. Okay, but regardless of that, like I'd say she's more like almost like
Okay,
a
compared to Carol, she really make
yeah,
like when you put Carol and her side by side, it makes you think that she's emo. Like I guess like
yeah.
objectively speaking, she's not
Yeah,
emo,
she's just a
but like
business. She's doing business.
yeah, she
But
just wears like she's really a fan of black, and that doesn't mean you're emo. Wearing black doesn't mean you're emo, but like when you're being compared to Carol and the fucking tomboy lady, like you're gonna be come off as being the goth chick.
yeah, I don't know. I like how she's like what's the word for like the people that are like that one guy and that one. Okay, that doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah,
Where they're like
that was
over dramatic and like think they're like you know what I'm talking about, right? There's like a
uh
word to that.
I don't know, tsundere, what?
No,
Like I
the
don't
no, not that. The I'll get to it. I'll come back to it later. Whatever. But anyway, yeah. Definitely was a lot better than expected. I also like that it's like just 13 episodes. It's kind of just as a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then it's just over. It's like okay, I like it. Nice self-contained story.
what did they end on
They
in
they
the
ended
anime?
they adapted the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
They
Like
like
that.
they had to trim out a lot of the middle part, but like they got like the gist of it pretty well. I think.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Honestly, that's probably for the better because I feel like some of the in the manga, I mean, it's a fucking if you know what the manga is, it's like a four panel type of
Mhm.
thing, right? Uh, and because of that, like some of the things are just like quick jokes, and those can be hit or miss. So
Yeah, I remember people talking about when it was originally being published that they'd post like one page every couple days or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's really not good for pacing, but that's beside the point, I guess. Okay. So I think I had Dark Souls 3 Ring City on my list last year, and I actually lost my save, so I actually lost progress, and I still haven't beat it. Nonetheless, the the Demon Prince is a very good boss fight. I actually like him a lot.
Why do you have Path of Exile in the top right corner?
It's not Path of Exile.
That's
Oh,
not Path
wait,
of
no,
Exile.
this is an ad.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually Path of Exile.
Yeah, this is Path of Exile. Yeah.
Where was I though? I also like that. So everybody always complains about in all the Dark Souls games there's a poison swamp, but the main director really says I really love making poison swamps. Poison swamps are like my favorite thing in the world, so he keeps putting in poison swamps. I really like how he put in another poison swamp in the DLC just for good measure, even though there's already one in the base game.
That's very
It's
that's
kind of Chad.
that's
I
very
like it.
righteous. That's very righteous of him.
He's an auteur, you know.
He knows what he wants and he does what he thinks is correct.
All right, Pokemon Emerald. This is actually pretty fun to play through, even though it was really anticlimactic. I grinded for a while to make sure I didn't lose the Elite Four, and they had actually absolute bum Pokemons. I actually did lose a lot of Pokemon, but that's mostly because I was stupid.
You lost them to like random ass fucking shit. You lost them to fucking Magnet Pool.
Yeah, I lost Scizor to Magnet Pool. I lost. Also, my favorite part is still the fact that from the very beginning, someone's like, "Yeah, you're probably gonna some random trainer is gonna pull up with a Groudon and kill your carry," and I was like, "Nah, it's not gonna happen." And then that exactly happened.
Yeah, and for some reason you're like, dude, there's no way Groudon has
A
Earthquake.
ground move.
And then and then he like Groudon didn't use Earthquake the first time, and you're like, see, he doesn't have it. And then he instantly used Earthquake.
It's like he's Sword Dancer. It's like, he's not gonna one shot me. There's nothing. This guy ain't nothing. This guy ain't shit. And then he was shit. I also, I'm glad I killed Wacky in that game too. That was good. Not, it wasn't even intentional, but you know, it is what it is. Another victim of me being lazy and stupid.
Yeah.
All right, Barbie movie. I'd say that was a pretty good. It was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's
The only
like,
downside of like the Barbie movie was like, you know, the part where they were like explaining like so like the entire movie is like explaining like, oh yeah, you know, damn, kind of sucks being a girl. But then like the part, and that's like fine. But then they really went all out in that one scene explaining everything like, and that really like just fucked up the pacing. You know, they're like, oh my god, what we know. Remember when she was like,
yeah, she had a
and that,
little
yeah,
monologue. Yeah,
yeah, the
I mean, it
monologue,
wasn't really
the
that long,
monologue
but
really,
yeah.
the monologue really, I feel like broke up the pace. I was like, I was having a good time. That then that monologue happened. I'm like, damn, I should go get an icy. I come back and then I'm having a good time again. You know?
On one hand, like I couldn't tell if like it's like not. It's like, you know, not that you're wrong or anything. It's just like you kind of just said that all at once over like 3 minutes, and maybe it wasn't actually that long, but that's what it felt like. Yeah. So I see what you mean, kind of. Barry. Yeah, the last season of Barry was pretty good. It was very funny. It had one of the more unique finales I've ever seen. I really like they wrapped it up pretty early before it kind of dragged on, but it's kind of hard to explain without spoiling anything. But it's definitely a little bit unconventional. So I would say, excuse me, the last season is pretty damn good. I like it. Definitely A tier for me at least. Good Omens, one of my favorite books by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. I reread part of it this year for like kind of a book club thing. Yeah, and it's just a really funny book. There's not a lot to say in what's the Amazon Prime adaptation, but it is actually getting a season two, which goes is completely new content, not based on the book. Anyway, that's a side point. But yeah, also the Amazon adaptation's pretty good too. Yeah, it was fun to like meet people in person, talk to people about. Oh yeah, you know, this book was it's a cool book. Like it, good book. Have you ever read this one? Or read any like Neil Gaiman or Terry Pratchett?
No, I have not.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. It's pretty fun. You might like the Discworld books if you like kind of like fantasy stuff. It's kind of like comedy fantasy, but it's like actually good.
Mm,
You should definitely. I definitely like look into the audiobooks. It's definitely worth it. I'd invest your time into it. You know.
I see. Maybe you should hand it over to me one day.
I don't have the audiobooks, but I've heard
Oh,
good things about them. I actually have not read it yet.
okay. Maybe you should hand over this book to me.
This
Good
book, yeah,
Omens.
this book is good. Yeah, you should just watch the Amazon show. It's pretty good.
I'm not gonna watch the show. Give me the fucking
It's
book because, like,
it's 6 episodes. It's a mini series.
okay, but give me the fucking book
I
then.
don't have the book. I just stole it.
Then you should have it.
Oh, I guess I could send it. Yeah, I'll send it to you sometime. Yeah, maybe I'll even give you my own personalized audiobook.
Okay,
J. Ray
uh,
reading Good Omens.
that would be really good. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, moving on. I feel like I didn't eat a lot today. This drink is hitting a lot more than I thought it would. Anyway, that's aside the point. Endo and Kobayashi. Have you ever read this one? It was a manga.
Uh, what I may have read it, but I don't recognize the title.
It's so
Can you
the pre
can you what's the name of it again?
Endo and Kobayashi. It's the premise is like
Oh
it's
wait,
not
wait, are they commentators?
yeah,
Is
they're
that the
like
com
the
Yeah, yeah,
commentators.
yeah, that one's good. I like that one.
Yeah, it's another one that like I like because it's short. That's what like I don't like anime in spite of the fact that I have a decent number of them on this list. But what I do like about anime is that, like
They
when it's
just like
like short contained stories, it's like 12, 13 episodes, maybe 26, like maybe 10 hours at most, and that's it. It's like not too long, not too short. It's like a nice length, which is
I
what
see.
like what I do like about it. But and this was like one of those like that where they adapted the whole thing in like 13 episodes, which is really good. And
Mm.
it's like not really an isekai. It's like something. I wouldn't say it's not something far more sinister. It's just something
It's
different.
yeah, no, it's
It's
like
actually less sinister, if
it's actually
anything.
far less sinister. Yeah, they just they just commentate on the thing. It's like
It's like these are actually like just the dudes in Discord watching someone play through a
yeah,
visual novel.
yeah,
This is actually based on reality.
yeah, it really is.
But yeah, I thought it was like it didn't overstay its welcome with the gimmick. It used the gimmick pretty well, and yeah, the anime was very badly animated, to be honest. But I'm not that much of a stickler for animation, so I didn't really care. Black Lagoon, B tier. It's or more specifically, I read the two or three manga arcs that ran after the arc in the TV show.
I see.
Unfortunately, it's like semi discontinued. Like they release a new chapter like every 3 months, so it's like never gonna finish or anything like
I
that.
see.
But yeah, the new arcs weren't like that amazing. They were like okay. The first one wasn't that memorable, and the second one was like they kind of hype up the villains, but then like they ended up being a bunch of jobbers. Like they were actually bums. They got like rolled in like 2 or 3 chapters. It's like not impressive.
Damn.
But nonetheless, it's kind of neat. Like I watched the show when I was a kid, when I was like what maybe 12, 13. So it's kind of neat to see like the characters again, even though they've like made almost no progress since then. And that was like 13 years ago, however much.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Speaking of this, this is a good question. Should some manga is like very good to read, like you know, like if some manga, so like speaking of like completed manga, not manga that's releasing, some manga is just like you read it and it's very good to read. But others manga, like it's for example, Black Lagoon or like it releases very slowly, and you're like because it's not finished, so it's releasing. Is it is it okay to be like, okay, when it was releasing, it was like dog, but now that it's finished and you can just read through it all at once, it's actually good,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
pretty common. That's why I don't like mangas or like
Yeah.
comic books or like anything like that in general. Where it's like they're releasing like I'll talk more. Okay, speaking of which, I'll put Chainsaw Man Part Two in the same category for the same reason because like it's kind of like the pacing is really bad because you get like a 3 minute chapter every like 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes like every like back to back weeks if you're lucky. But the pacing is really bad because of that. But like after it's finished, it might be pretty good. Like the first, like the part one, the original part, I thought was pretty good. But like if I had to read that like week to week, it probably would have been paced really badly. One of the things I enjoyed about it was like you could read through it in an afternoon, like pretty fast,
Yeah,
and it
because
like
like
escalates pretty fast, and it gets past the boring parts, and it's like actually pretty good.
Yeah, one of the manga I was following, read it recently. It's like just some like generic I don't know, revenge fantasy type of thing. So you have like your bad guys that are like comically villainous in the sense that they just do really fucked up shit, right? And it's manga, so they like do even more fucked up shit, right?
Mhm.
Um, uh, and then I remember I read through it and I was like, oh wow, that's and I caught up and I was like, oh yeah, it's it's kind of what up. It's fun to read. It's fun to read some revenge stuff once in a while. Um, and
Are you a
then
fan of Radio of Healer?
I am actually not.
Good.
I actually specifically was like, that sounds very fucked up. I am avoiding that.
From what I've heard, it's a bit fucked up. You know, lots of
Yeah,
people, smart people, everyone is saying it. You know,
yeah, yeah. But then I read like the comments on the new chapter, and they were like, "Dude, I'm dropping this shitty manga. Every fucking arc is like the same. This guy does some fucked up shit, and then he has to get revenge, and then as he tries to get revenge, more fucked up shit happens. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, he's right. But when I was like reading it in the moment, I didn't care because it was just like kind of like candy. I could just like eat it quickly, you know. But I kind of get his point because like now that I'm caught up to it, I'm reading it week to week. I'm like, dude, just get to the point.
yeah, he just wanted to like do like the same shit, like and like actually get to it. Like you know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen already, so just hurry the fuck up. You know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I feel like manga is actually a very bad format. It's actually like, I actually kind of like the format when you're reading it like back to back to back. Because like, ooh, you know, you have like nice little self-contained stories that like form a bigger story, which form like a bigger story.
Hmm.
But yeah, reading it week to week kind of sucks. It's like kind of not a good format, in
Yeah.
my opinion. All right. Anyway, speaking of revenge fantasies, I'll go ahead and I really like this one, The Count of Monte Cristo. So my goal this year was to listen to more audiobooks on the way to work. Unfortunately, I picked one really big audiobook, which is like 55 hours long, and my commute is only like 7 minutes, both to and back. So I read it very slowly, but I mean, it's one of like the classic revenge stories for a reason. Um, and honestly, like this might be a medium take. Like I know it's considered a classic, but it definitely feels like one of those like the old school version of like a like revenge like manga.
It inspired all revenge stories.
Maybe like I mean kind of yeah. This is like the classic revenge story
Yeah.
where like basically like there's this young captain and some people are jealous of him and some other factors. And what the fuck is this going on up here?
Dude, it's you
Dude,
just
why am I
yeah.
loading? Anyway, but
Yeah.
anyway, like these people conspire to have him thrown in prison for treason because they accuse him being a Bonapartist. You know, being very topical now that the
Yeah.
Napoleon movies come out.
Yeah.
The one the most exciting new character of 2023.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, and then you know he goes to prison and then he learns all these techniques from this guy. Then he finds bazillions of dollars, and then 10 years pass and he learns like pretty much every skill. Where he's like an alchemist, fighter, gunslinger, a
Oh, like holy
genius.
shit, he's actually this is actually the first fucking manga to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this.
yeah. Okay, and it was also published week to week in newspapers. It
Oh
actually
my
was like
god,
serialized. It was serialized.
oh my god, this is crazy. This is they actually stole they fucking stole the script. They stole the fucking like they're copying its whole flow bar for bar.
Exactly. Like I was like, wait a minute. This is like, it's like all those shitty. Like, it's like the good version of like those shitty revenge mangas.
Oh my god. Maybe I gotta get on the Monte Cristo grind.
Like it's good. I was listening to the audiobook.
I should probably
It's
just
free on
read
YouTube.
it. Like
I
Do
should
not
like
do not read it. It's like too long to read, man. I would never read like something that's like 1,200 pages.
no, that's fine. I'm just gonna like because I have to. I'm probably eventually at some point when I'm fixing my sleep schedule going to get to the point where like I start reading before bed. So whenever that happens, I'll probably read Count of Monte Cristo before
Yeah,
bed.
but yeah. I guess this is actually just the original revenge manga. But yeah. But the thing is, this one's actually good. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Kaguya-sama
but yeah.
movie. Because I assume that's the movie.
Yeah. This is the movie. I'd say it's B tier. I liked it a lot. But what I liked more was my experience. It came out. It was had a limited release in American theaters on Valentine's Day. So I had to drive an hour through an extreme, like very serious thunderstorm to get there, and then my GPS took me to an abandoned gas station. So I had to go ask for directions and then drive down the street to the real theater. Then it was a little bit late, so I had to run in. I accidentally entered through the exit as someone was exiting, so I didn't even pay for it. So I walked in and I got into my seat, and yeah, it was pretty solid. It was a pretty faithful and solid adaptation of the manga. So yeah, I liked it.
Was it the full manga?
No, yeah, of like that particular arc.
Okay, I was like, okay,
This is like the part after like the end of the last season, and like it's basically like
okay,
it's basically 4 episodes, like
okay,
condensed into a movie.
okay.
But the vibe of like this allows me to experience this is my life. I go here on Valentine's Day in the pouring rain, driving about an hour to get there. This is the vibes. This is what the single life is all about. I like it. So it made it a very memorable experience. So yeah. I'll get a taxi
Taxi
driver.
driver.
I'll get down there. Smash Bros. I think this is one of the best games of all time. Definitely up
I
there.
see.
I mean, there's a reason people are still playing it after all this time, and I don't take it that seriously. I just kind of chill, like play some unranked games, and I'll like gradually improve.
Make sure we're
Yeah,
mad.
I made Kroger now. That's the upside. That's big aspect of my gameplay. I have no skill, and then I get mad because he has tech skill, but yes, he plays the game in a fucking stupid way, as he does every game. And yeah, it's just good. It's a game that feels good. Like I'll hit a combo, and I'll just remember that for the next few days. Like
You cut out.
I said, I'll hit a combo, and I'll just remember that combo for the next few days because it's I don't know, the everything about the game just feels good. It's like amazing how like the animations feel, like how like how it has like it's so ahead of its time in terms of like feel of like how fluid it is. And I'm not even like that fluid at like a lot of the technical aspects of the game, but even though I have just a touch of that, it makes it even better. So yeah, I mean Smash Bros is one of the best games I've
I
ever
mean,
played, and
like,
I've continued to
is
play.
would you like? Have you played the new Smash games?
Yeah, I played Ultimate a little bit. I used to play Ultimate with one of my
Do they
coworkers.
actually like? What makes them not feel fluid?
I say Ultimate does feel pretty fluid, especially, but I think Melee is just. I like the simplicity of the game. There's not that many characters. There's not that many stages. It's just
Melee and Simple, I feel like are like, isn't that game like all about like? Didn't they remove all the tech in like later games?
it's simple in the fact there's not that much content, but it's complex in the fact that like there's a shitload of content for each character, and just like in general, just like for all the tech skill. But in terms of like the actual content, there's like maybe like 10 or 12 like viable characters that you see most of the time. There's like five. There's 6 stages that they're played in competitive, so it's like actually not that complicated in terms of like compared to like a game like Dota, League of Legends, Overwatch. There's actually not that much to know, or Ultimate, which has like 80 characters. But in terms of like yeah, I mean, it's very deep, but it's like if you actually like want to get into it. But as far as like for most people, if you're just like a semi-casual, then it's actually not that much to learn. Of course, like if you actually want to get good at it, it's like million hours. But yeah, if you're just like kind of casual about it, like me, then it's not too bad.
I see.
Like the amount of like no, just like playing, not even like understanding the game itself, but just like knowing what every character does in a game like Overwatch, Dota, League, Ultimate. That's just like so much like time you have to invest just like know what the stuff does before even like can like get good at the game, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Smash Bros. Melee, one of the best of all time for sure. Definitely deserves its place. It's all right. I mean, I've only watched like 3 or 4 episodes because you told me to. You're part of the wheel, you know, wheeling and
Yeah.
dealing.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say a whole lot yet. It just seems like a average-ish like weeb
Yeah,
rom-com, but
yeah. It gets. It's not real. The first episodes aren't really the hard hitting part. So
yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's okay so far. It's not like bad or good. I'm a little bit undecided. I'll put a C tier for now. You know.
yeah.
Always Sunny season 14. You know, it's not the best season by far. It's definitely not as good as like the prime seasons, but it's pretty solid. Some episodes are better than others. I like the Thunder Gun episode, which actually it seems like a lot of people actually didn't like that one, but I thought that one was one of the best ones. The one where they talk about the movie where he hangs Dong, or actually in that one he didn't hang Dong, and that's what they're mad about.
Mm-hmm.
But and also I'm a little bit upset I couldn't find this to stream anywhere, so I had
You're
to.
upset that what? It cut out again.
I don't know why it's. I don't know why it's cutting out, but anyway, yeah. Um,
Just put it on push to talk and like, or push to mute, and then like, don't mute it. You know.
I'll just put it on constant transmission. 1 sec. I can't. Okay, it won't let me do that.
So do push to mute and then like don't mute. You know.
I don't know how to do that, man. I've been drinking, so that's too complicated. Push to talk. Just push to mute. Okay, I just turned down the voice sensitivity and just the keybinds. I'll just keep on concentrating so you can deal with the noise. You know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I literally said put it on push to mute and leave it on like unmuted.
Yeah, man. I don't remember that.
I said it 3 times to you, man.
Yeah, I know. I've been drinking. Speaking of
So
which,
yeah, you're drunk.
anyway, what was that? But yeah, moving on. Oh yeah, Always Sunny. Yeah, I'm a little bit resentful. I had to pay $15 for whatever, and
No,
that
because you wanted to see blackface.
no, it wasn't blackface. It was brownface.
Well, you did. You initially described it as blackface, so you wanted to see blackface.
Okay, I don't want to see blackface. It's just the I was told that people were like, "Whoa, man, you know, gotta pay extra." I literally had to pay $2 extra for it. And
so you wanted to see blackface, and then
I did not want to see blackface. I just want to see like why it was controversial. You make me seem like I'm a connoisseur of blackface.
I'm not. I literally described it as it was, which was there. You were told that there was blackface, and then you wanted to see the episode with blackface in it.
Yeah,
which was what it
you're
was.
probably right, but I don't remember that.
That's literally word.
You're probably right, but I don't remember that. Like Slay the Spire, one of the best games I've played. One of the best roguelite type games. Just really easy game to pick up and play. And the waiting days of my previous job when I was unable to care anymore, I would just play that instead of working from home. I'm the reason. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, moving on. It's a good game. Bottom line.
What, can you just like move Taxi Driver to the back if you're not doing it right away?
I'll do Taxi Driver now. I'd say Taxi Driver is one of the. Honestly, I might move it to S tier. And just some people, I've heard mixed
Is
reactions.
that literally you? Do you think?
No, this is not literally. I fucking hope to God it's not literally me, man. I hope I'm not hope I'm not a psychopath who just wants to like kill people for the sake of it, for just to be like a vigilante because he has nothing to do with his life, because he has like no purpose. He serves no purpose, and God, I hope that's not me. Anyway.
You said that you wanted to clean up these streets.
Look, there's
You said some shit, but that's the old me.
there's an exaggeration, Look, it was only when I was before I became Christ-like,
I
became a brother in Christ. Well, not like that I'm a Christian, but like I'm became Jesus himself, like a Jesus-like figure myself. Anyway, Taxi Driver. It's like, I don't know. It's one of those. I mean, it's what I like about movies. Like when movies are like not very long, they're like as a nice like short contained story. That's what I want from a film. Soundtrack is really really good. I remember I watched Rocky on the. I saw in the Oscar like history that it won best soundtrack over Rocky. It's like how could it win best soundtrack over Rocky? Rocky was so good. It actually watched Rocky the same day. So I was like, but yeah. After I saw them, I was like, okay, I get it. Like it's it's not as iconic as Rocky, of course, but it suits the atmosphere so well. And I think the themes of the movie are very relevant today about how isolation and disempowerment has kind of led to a lot of what we see today. A lot of the deranged individuals we see today in the news and the very negative headlines from the you know what I mean, right? Like a
Yeah,
lot of these like incel types or like turned these like white supremacist
bullshit.
incel
Yeah,
communities, that kind of thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's I mean, I don't know. It was definitely it feels like it was ahead of its time in a sense. Or maybe it wasn't ahead of its time and it's just kind of shitty that that's how it still is. But yeah, great movie. Moving on. Dota 2. I think Dota 2 is a great game. I liked watching the international. However, I probably won't play it again because it takes too much time. It's basically it. It's like one of the most deep games. It's like one of the most interesting games to watch in terms of strategy. That it just takes too much time. I think the new map is
Dude, it was
interesting.
a team spirit sweep.
Okay, the finals were pretty boring, but
Yeah,
aside from that,
but yeah,
well, aside from that, like the
but
rest
it
of
was a
them,
team. It was a team spirit sweep though.
like compared to
I would.
League, where like only like half the champions even got picked or banned, like in Dota International, most of the characters got picked or banned. It's definitely like one of the more like interesting metas to or like games to watch.
Yeah, it's funny because this international in particular, it was actually one of the like more limited like ones where like there was very clearly like overpowered shit. So like Bristleback would like always get banned, but then like when it wouldn't get banned, it would you would see like an interesting lineup to like that completely countered the Bristleback or something. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I just think the drafting aspects of Dota are a lot more interesting to watch. Um, let's see what's next. This game. This is one of those games I respect it. Like, I think the design is really good. I just didn't really get into it. Alina of the Arena. It's kind of like a roguelike deck builder type of game, and it's a really good one. It has kind of like a grid-based hexagon movement system, and I don't know. It seemed like it was a really interestingly designed game. I just didn't really get that into it, but
Let's
I
see.
think I put a B tier. Fortnite. I think it's like C tier. It's like an okay game. Okay, actually, I played literally one game because one of my friends asked me to, and then I won that first game with like 5 or 6 kills. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have a 100% win rate forever, so I never played it again.
I see.
Indiana Jones. I'd say it's C tier. It was fine. It was just not that memorable.
Wait. Where did you when did you play like with your friends?
The Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because if you played by yourself, they literally like match new players with other new players slash bots
I mean
that literally.
these people were pretty much new players slash bots. So I mean,
Oh, okay, yeah. And in that
they
case,
were
you may
very
have won
bad.
against you may have won against bots.
I mean, yeah, very likely, but doesn't matter. 100% win rate. Never
Yeah.
lost. Never lost. Yeah, Indiana Jones. It wasn't very memorable. I mean, I haven't actually seen the classic Indiana Jones. Maybe it'd be better if I did, or maybe it'd actually be worse if it did. I don't know, but it's just a very solid like adventure movie. It wasn't that memorable, but it wasn't bad either. It's just like a fine action movie. You just want to see like Indiana Jones
Yeah.
fight Nazis.
Dude, we just saw him kill some Nazis, dude.
It's like, yeah, I'm never against that. So you know. Let's see. Or
What's Raging Bull?
a Raging Bull. I can't remember if I watched it this year or last year, but definitely one of the better boxing.
I don't remember it being on your list last year,
Yeah.
but
Basically, it's about the it's a Martin Scorsese movie about the life of Jake LaMotta, a real life boxer. I mean, he's the kind of guy that had It's the classic like fighting boxing type of movie plot where he's good in the ring, but he's got a lot of personal issues outside of the ring, and I mean a lot of the it's one of those movies like you watch today, it's like oh this is like I've seen this movie before, like it seems like it's kind of generic, but it's like it kind of set up a lot of those tropes.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like one of the more well done ones anyway. And what I think is kind of funny is that it's based on the real guy, and even though you like walk away from the movie thinking this guy's a complete piece of shit, they're um, like dates minors, they're like 15, is like half his age, and beats the shit out of his brother, like gets involved with the mob, and you're like, man, this guy's terrible. And then people like talking about the movie, like, yeah, this is actually like a pretty. The movie actually makes him look pretty nice in comparison.
Wow.
So it's pretty interesting. And the real life guy actually trained Robert De Niro like a little bit how to box. Who Robert De Niro who played him in the movie. So I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, I mean, I like any Martin Scorsese movie pretty much. So, which Taxi Driver also directed by him. But yeah, it was a good movie. Let's see, moving on. Honestly, the Konosuba Explosion spinoff anime was not that good. Just kind of boring. I don't know. There's like a couple of okay episodes, but it just wasn't that memorable. Really too much of like half the jokes was like there's like I don't know. It's like the same show. It's like oh, here's some creepy dude who wants to
Fuck.
yeah. It's like okay, cool, nice. And it didn't really have any like the dynamics of the original shows. Yeah, it was not that memorable, honestly. Let's see.
What's the top left one? What's the next one?
Oh, this is the gay golf one. I'll put a B tier. It's so the premise is basically it's like just any generic sports anime, but about golf, which actually makes it kind of funnier because it's like they're super dramatic about a sport that's extraordinarily boring to watch, and so which actually makes it like kind of funny.
It's a putt.
Kind of, yeah. She's like, oh, or like they learn like a very like average golf skill, like oh, I'm gonna learn to do a slice, and it's like presented super dramatically. It's like okay, good job, man. And I don't know. I also like has like I like shows that have like a really bizarre tone where it's like on one hand like you'll have like this really fruity like you know flirting between some girls playing golf, and on the other hand you'll have there's like this like in the first arc there's like this dramatic backstory where it's like yeah the main character was a golfer for the mafia, and then she has to play against the person that brought her into the mob, and then she beats her, and then she gets executed. Her mentor gets executed. It's like okay, that's a little bit dark, but not cool, I guess.
I sent you a video. I think that video is kind of funny.
All right, let's see.
I think it will.
Why is it not loading?
I think it might download. Unfortunately, if you just click on it.
Stay live.
Yeah.
What a punt.
Yeah, that's pretty good. uh, yeah, the show was pretty good for the most part. I felt like the middle, like it started out really crazy, and the middle was like kind of like not as crazy. It's like almost like a little bit generic, and then it got a little bit more crazy, and then the ending was like kind of the ending felt like they wanted to do like 3 or 4 different things, and like I don't know, it felt like very indecisive, which kind of made it the ending kind of meh. I'd put probably an A tier if the ending was a little bit better, but overall was a pretty solid show. It was better than I expected. Pikmin 2, one of the best games of all time. Nothing more to say. It's definitely like easier than I remembered as a kid. It's like I think it was like the first GameCube game I played, and I was actually scared of most of the enemies.
Dude, because as a kid, you died to an enemy once, and you're like, dude, you can't beat them. They're unkillable.
It's not even like I can't beat them. It's like I was actually scared of them. They're like, oh my,
Oh,
because
I
that's like
see.
that's like when this game was like 8 or 9. It's like, oh my god, dude, this thing's like so creepy looking. It's gonna kill my little dudes. I don't want it to kill my dudes. I'm literally scared of this guy. So
And dude, when Need for Speed Most Wanted, did you ever play that?
yeah,
When I was a kid, like I didn't know anything about like the fucking speed breakers or like the blue things. I like the only reason I like use speed not speed breakers the fucking so there was like the red triangles that like cause explosions to kill cops or whatever, and then
mhm,
like the blue bubbles where you go to like hide your car.
yeah.
I didn't know about how those worked because like I didn't care. I'm just here to play the racing game. So I didn't read any of that, and the only reason I would like drive through the gas stations to see the cool explosions. So whether or not I got busted by the cops was completely decided by whether or not I like decided to just randomly drive through the some gas stations, and otherwise I would just stay on the highway the entire time trying to outrun them, and they fucking just rubber band catch up to me. I'm like, damn, these guys are fast. So I
He's
was like,
fast.
dude, I could not figure out how to beat those guys. So for the longest time, like as a kid, I thought that fucking level like 2 cops were like super difficult, like the second level cops. And then I learned what speed breaker does. So I was like, dude, these shits are easy. You can literally drive in a circle and they won't bust
Oh
you.
yeah, I also didn't know what this how to do the slow motion thing.
Oh, I also
I
didn't know how to do that. Yeah.
I think I hit it by accident a couple times. I was like, oh, that's weird. How'd that happen? And I just never figured out like it was actually a mechanic.
I did, I didn't know. I saw that it gave me slow motion, but I used it only while racing to like hit a turn better. I didn't realize like the mechanics of it was it made like it makes your car weigh like 8 billion tons.
Very tragic.
Yeah. Anyways,
Unfortunately, Need for
sorry.
Speed Most Wanted not on
The
the list, but it was a good game.
yeah. Anyway, the moral of that story is when you're a kid, easy shit is like super difficult. Then I don't know if we needed to tell a full story to explain that, but well, let's keep going.
All right.
Holy shit, you got the images to be different sizes. That's kind of cool.
Let's see what are we gonna do? Okay, let's do some F tier. What goes into F tier for sure? Honestly, the only thing that goes in F.
Diablo 4.
Yeah, I played that game for like an hour. I was like, I don't care. I didn't even care to refund it. I was like, I just don't care. The only reason I bought it was like one of my friends wanted to play it, but he had already like played it a week before, and I was busy that week. And I just like didn't feel like catching up. It's like, okay, I guess we just won't play this then.
I see. Who's the man who erased his name?
That's the new Yakuza game. It's okay.
Oh,
I'm only like 2 hours in. I might be A, might be B, might be D. So far, it's fine. I didn't play like the original like 0 to 6 Yakuza game, so it's not kind of like what is bro waffling about for like these gigantic cutscenes.
I see.
The gameplay is also, I mean, it's one of the it has a balance problem where you can just like buy as many recovery items as you want, and you just never die. So there's like no challenge really. But and the gameplay's the action combat's like a little bit clunky compared to like a game like not this game. I don't know. I do like the Spider-Man whip. The Spider-Man whip's kind of cool though.
What's dogs?
Where's dogs?
The red agent shooting shit. It says dogs.
That's not. No one in that picture is Asian, man.
Then it's agents.
Oh,
Agents.
agents. Oh, Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the best movies I've seen this year. It's. Have you ever seen Reservoir Dogs?
No,
It's about some reservoir dogs.
damn.
No, I mean, but it's the. I think it's the first movie Quentin Tarantino directed. It's a pretty short one, dude. It's like 90 minutes, and it's kind of just a. Them trying to find out who the undercover cop is, and the only other Tarantino movies I've seen are Hateful Eight and Pulp Fiction, and I actually didn't realize it when I saw Hateful Eight, but Hateful Eight is kind of like the same movie as Reservoir Dogs, just like set in the Old West and twice as long. So like twice as bad because like one of the things I like about Reservoir Dogs is it's very like
To
to
the
the point.
point.
Yeah. Um, And, you know, it has like all the trademark Tarantino dialogue where they talk about like kind of benign things, but he makes it like kind of interesting the way they do it. It has like really good usage of music. It has a great torture scene, that kind of thing.
Does he show feet in that movie?
No, it's all dudes, so he isn't into that.
I see.
So that's actually like why it's my favorite Tarantino movie because he doesn't have that shit.
That was I was interested in that. Yeah, I was like, oh, I wonder, doesn't he normally put like feet in his shit? Doesn't Gilbert hate that? Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah,
RoboCop.
but RoboCop definitely, you know,
Or
at least A tier. Yeah. Uh, I mean the
is this
effects
the
are
original?
yeah, this is original. Like the effects are very dated, but it's very it's very retro in this sense, which is why I liked it. And again, it's not the movie true to one. It's like they kill this dude, he becomes RoboCop. He's a robot who is a cop. But he's not a robot, he's a man. And then he always kills the people that killed him, and then he's like, yeah, capitalism, man. And then he shoots some people and leaves. It's pretty cool. I like RoboCop.
What's Wandering Witch? After that, Frieren.
This one is. It was okay. I'm trying to think where I'd put it. It's like somewhere between like B and C tier. I'd say it's C tier, honestly, because there's a couple like really annoying characters that have like just really annoying gimmicks, and they keep showing up and they're really annoying. But most of it is it's also like very inconsistent. There's like some episodes that are pretty interesting. It's kind of like there's not like an overarching plot, just kind of like almost like a collection of short stories about the this one girl that's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go wander, and she's a witch, as the name might imply, you know. And she just meets random people, and some of the people are really annoying, and some of them just really annoying recurring characters. Also, one thing I liked about her character though, is she's like extraordinarily narcissistic. She'll go in like these like long poems in the intro about who's that beautiful maiden whose hair sparkles in the sun and is the most beautiful person ever and is extraordinarily talented. Oh, yeah, that's me, and stuff like that, which I actually thought was like kind of amusing. Some people hate that, but I was amused by it. I actually like that she's like pretty much a narcissist. But the other part I liked about it is like it's one of those shows that has like a very wildly ranging tone where one episode will just be like, oh, they have a festival, that's neat. Or oh, she wants to go teach a lecture at a school or something, some shit like that. And another one where like they travel back in time because like some girl got like diddled by her parents and then she killed them, and then someone didn't know that and she thought she was framed, and it turns out she's actually the bad guy, and then there's a like surprisingly bloody fight, and then everybody dies, and it's kind of tragic. Or like there's one like slave that's like basically that kills herself because her life fucking sucks. And the main character's just like, man, that kind of sucks for you. Bye. 'Cause that's the other thing I thought was interesting about the protagonist. The protagonist, she's like not a hero at all. She just kind of shows up and's like, oh man, that's kind of neat. Man, your life's cool. Or man, your life sucks. And he's like, all right, good luck. See ya.
Isn't that like what you are currently? But you want to change that, so that's really like the problem here. This is your past self.
You
Right.
aren't a hero.
Perhaps, maybe it me. But in a way, sure. Have you ever played The Witcher?
I've seen gameplay of
Yeah,
it.
like it kind of reminds me of like Geralt, not from like the games where he kind of like just does every side quest because it's a video game, but like from the books where he's just kind of like a lot of times he'll be like, oh man, that's awful. Anyway, I got shit to do, so sorry. And the game is a lot more nice and like willing to do stuff because it's a game, so you just do all the fucking side quests, you know.
hmm
But yeah, I don't know. I liked it for its protagonist. It didn't really have like a beginning or anything. It just kind of ends. And some of the episodes were kind of bad, but some of them were pretty good. So it was a pretty solid show. It's like somewhere between like B and C. It's like on that borderline. I move it up to B for now. Likewise, Brian. I think it's like almost like that because it's like almost the same idea, just like better in every way. You said you read this one, didn't you? What do you think?
Yeah. Of how far can you describe what's the last thing that happened in Frieren so I don't like.
I read all the chapters.
Oh, you read it. You read it, so you caught up. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really like this current arc where they're like they're exploring like her past and stuff, um, by like going back into it. But I honestly like your assessment's kind of like is pretty good. Where in the sense where it's, technically she's just she starts off very much in the way that you described, like the fucking witch, wandering witch lady, where she was just like, yeah, no, okay, we're gonna go kill the demon lord or whatever, and that's it. There's not really much else for us to do. But like, meanwhile, the hero, he's Geralt from the video game. He stops and does every side quest, and
He's
because
Gerald from the books, and he's Gerald from the video game.
yeah, so because through that she learns the power of being Geralt from the video game and like actually like helps out with stuff. So it's I don't know, it's kind of cute. It's very like it's a very fun read. I really like the barbarian guy.
Oh,
I
he just does stuff, you know.
yeah,
Except when he's afraid, and then sometimes well, he does stuff anyway. He's just
Yeah,
afraid while
yeah,
doing it.
yeah. Really he's the most courageous of them all.
But yeah, have you seen the TV show?
No, I have not.
It's pretty good. Like I remember like reading like what the only thing like a lot of people didn't like about the book was that the like the fight scenes are kind of like not well drawn, but the ones in the anime are pretty well drawn. Unfortunately, I don't care about like fight scenes that much, so it doesn't really matter to me, for better or worse. But they are actually like pretty well animated. It's like the production on the anime is really well done.
I can appreciate a well done fight scene, but it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
So
I don't care either. Yeah,
like I can watch it and be like, oh, and that actually looks kind of sick. But like, especially on a first watch through, I won't care. First watch through, I'm just kind of there for the plot line. Like if I reread it or do like rewatch it, I'll like notice more stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this fucking sucks.
yeah. The other thing I like is like I like how it's kind of like the like I like the it feels like they pay more attention to, like the details of like the world in some there's some times where they don't where the writer doesn't, but there's also sometimes where it does seem feel like they put like some thought into it. It's like they have kind of an interesting take on it. So I think it's pretty like one of the better things I've. It's also like one of the show TV shows you can show someone and they won't be like, "What the fuck you watch this? This is kind of weird, man." And it's kind of just normal. It's not like any creepy shit, you know. I realize again that shows like how low the bar is for like weeb media. It's like yeah, it's not like a creepy show, and that's like considered like a big upside, you know. Are you talking? Your thing keeps sliding
No,
up.
I'm not. No, no,
Okay,
no, no, I'm not.
but yeah, is how it is. Okay, here's Oppenheimer. Which I thought your take was pretty funny on it. That I liked it.
That it's a
Um,
trailer.
but yeah, that it's a three. It has like the three hours of trailer music. I like the soundtrack. I like how it kind of builds up until like it's to the thing, like the big thing where they have like the first
Yeah.
test. But at the same time, like it is like I thought it was kind of funny after you mentioned it because it is pretty true that it feels like 3 hours of dramatic trailer music building up for like, but it just keeps building up. It just does. It just keeps going forever. And
Yeah.
also the scene, like I said, the scene at the end where his wife testifies against those people, and like, she kind of gives a smackdown. She's like, "Yeah, fuck you guys." That kind of made me hard. I mean, it is Emily Blunt. She's good looking, but yeah,
I'll be honest. I think I mentioned this. The last third of the movie, like I don't know. Maybe I just missed what the theme of the movie was supposed to be, but like I don't. I completely felt like the last third of the movie came out of nowhere. I don't know. I thought the theme of the movie was like how science is like gone too far, let's just say, and like but specifically like how that affects the person like building the bomb. Like he's getting his life assessed. Meanwhile, cross-examined. Meanwhile, he's like it's not like he did that. Like he himself was struggling with building lines. Like it was like a he can do it, but he's like also knows that like doing that is like evil, but like he's justified in doing it. But now that they're defeated, they need to keep going, whatever. Um, and then they're like, okay, and now it's actually a movie about politics and how Strauss and Oppenheimer hate each other. Okay, what do you want me to do about it?
I don't see what you mean. That I don't know. It felt like the nuclear test was like the climax of the movie, and after that, it's like
Yeah.
okay, but there's more. I guess they're not. They can't just be like, yeah. I mean, look at. It's like I don't know. I see what you mean though. Yeah, I mean, after I was kind of like reading like how accurate it was like afterwards, like about the history, and that I mean, there's also a lot of other reasons Strauss hated Oppenheimer. On top of that, and there's also like kind of differences in the movie about like how they portrayed his reluctance over the nuclear bombs and like how he actually did in real life.
Oh, I
But
see.
like in real life, he's like kind of against like building the H bomb, but it was like for different reasons. It was like not I don't know, but overall, I still thought it was an interesting movie. That like I mean, if it wasn't interesting, I would have like fell asleep after fucking 3.5 hours or however long it was. So it's usually I like movies to be like maybe like 1.5, 2.5 at most. So yeah, pretty good. Only other part I don't like about it is I feel like if you look at the poster from a distance and squint, it looks like the Hunger Games poster because it has the same color scheme, which
Mm.
gives me negative vibes. But that's aside the point. Rocket League, great game. I mean, it's one of the games you can't really complain about in terms of gameplay. It's just straightforward. Just your skill matters a lot. A whole lot. I mean, the developers maybe move down to 8 just because the developers have changed a lot about the game that makes the outside of stuff, which I personally don't care about, but I can definitely understand why people don't like it. So I'll move it down to 8 tier. But
Wait, I'm so confused. Like, what? How is the game like still developed outside? Is it like? Is it? Wouldn't it only be like skins? Like,
yeah,
what is their
it's
development
just cosmetics pretty much, and
I was
like
like, yeah,
extra
the
modes
game seems
sometimes.
the game seems like it's done. To be honest, it's like felt like it was like done on release in a sense.
They've actually like removed things basically because there used to be like maps that were different. Now it's the same map every time except with like different scenery.
I see.
So it's actually gotten like the meta has changed less as has gone on in ranked. PUBG. This game fucking sucks, man. It's only like it's funny to play, but it's not a good game.
Really? What's happening?
Oh, I'm doing the year in review of all the things I've played or
Watched and read.
watched or read this year.
Is Melee here?
Yeah, I put
Yeah, I
Melee
put
S
it in S
tier.
tier.
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Oh.
You guys can discuss if you have any thoughts
Okay.
on this information.
Oh, I don't know many of these. I do think Rocket League is good. I know Oppenheimer is good. I've seen part of it. Dota 2, I agree, is good. Slay the Spire. I wouldn't put Slay the Spire S, but that's just personal preference because of just how I am with roguelikes. You know?
He thinks it's the perfect game because it's easy to pick up. You can just play it whenever you want, and like it has depth to it, but it's easy to pick up, and you can just. And he also played it whenever he didn't care about his last job.
Mm.
Like I would when he was working for Gary and like in the slave ship and like it was just like yeah nothing none of this shit is important. I'm just working get scam people out of their tax dollars, um, or whatever, developing his taxing technology. Uh, Whenever he would like finish a project, he would just play Slay the Spire on the side before turning it in.
So, Diablo 4 and PUBG, I would put higher. I don't think they're perfect games by any means, but I think better than F tier. I don't
Um,
know majority of the stuff in B and C tier.
he put Diablo 4 in F because he like started playing it. It didn't like he didn't care about it on release. Started playing it, didn't care about like what he was doing in the game, and then like didn't even finish it, and then like didn't even hate the game enough to like refund it. He like just like didn't. It's just sitting there. He doesn't care. PUBG, he hasn't explained it. He just put that there.
PUBG,
For all I
because
know-
that game just fucking sucks. It's just badly optimized.
It's
It's
badly optimized, but it's still fun to play.
No,
Yeah.
he puts the overall. He's.
I just don't the vibes. I just don't get the vibes of it being a good game. I just don't like it. Even though I like it sometimes, I also don't like it. I just think like even though it can be fun, it still just deserves to be F tier fundamentally. I'm also like
So-
somewhat biased because like when I played it on release, it's even worse. It's really not that bad anymore.
I played on release as well. The frame rate was atrocious. I would argue, for me personally, it was the most enjoyable on release because there was the least people doing rat strats and everything.
On release, I thought it was I literally couldn't play do anything because not only did I have like 15 frames per second, I couldn't go in buildings for the first 5 minutes of every game.
Oh, I see in the B tier the that anime with the redhead like tomboy chick.
Yeah,
I was thinking of looking at that. You put in B tier, so like suggestible would be a thing to watch.
yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I liked it. Anything like even C tier is like not that bad. I think C tier is just like it's okay, but I still like I'm not against
Things
it.
are in C tier not necessarily because they are horrid per se, but because there are so many other things.
Yeah, it's just like C tier is fine
Okay.
because most things like if I
He doesn't do watch or like go through many things because he doesn't like he doesn't trust that he'll enjoy most things. So he just like
like usually
whenever
like
he
most
gives
things I
a shot-
enjoy. Yeah,
whenever he gives things a shot, he'll like enjoy them because he's so very selective in the pre scanning process.
and on top of that,
they
like
just have Garen as an entire.
yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, this isn't rating League of Legends. This is rating Garen. And yeah, on top of that, like even if I like give something a try, I'll like give it up pretty fast and be like and just not even include it if it's like I barely played it.
Oh, speaking of League, 10-second clip. Misha, you've already seen this one. I sent it to you on Instagram a while ago, but it's the streamer getting rolled by sloppy walrus.
Said you want to use R?
Sloppy
Gragas is not
fucks
what
you
you
up,
want.
man.
I have cleanse for Morgana Q, so I'm not worried about that either.
Okay.
We just get vision their jungle. I'm just gonna
Let's take it. Let's take it.
All right. Any other comments, thoughts, concerns?
Please
I don't
continue.
recognize most of these things, but
No, please continue.
Alright,
We still
continue.
have half of a list to go through.
It's true. It's true. Years are long. Let's see. This game
Fargo.
was
Oh.
needy streamer. I don't know. Like my problem with like games like this, where there's like, oh, it's like an hour, like 30 minutes, an hour, but like find all the endings. It's just like you can become desensitized to the story. You have to like replay through parts, and it's just like not that. I don't know. I just like feel like it's less impactful if it's like you're just gonna see all the possibilities. It's like which one is like really matters. Like none of them really matter if you just see every possibility.
Okay, wait. And then can we immediately follow it up with it's Class of 09?
Yeah. Where's that one?
The bottom right.
Okay, yeah, but
Right in the
this
middle.
is A tier just because it's like funny.
I see. Okay.
I mean, that's basically all there is to it. It's from what I've played through it feels very accurate to 09 when I was playing fucking Xbox Live and everyone was just yelling slurs and just being out there living.
Okay, what's Fargo? What's the
Far-
next one?
Fargo, yeah, this is the movie, not the TV. I liked Fargo. It was where to put it? It's like on the border. I maybe A tier. Yeah, I'd put it A tier. It's like have you ever seen Fargo the movie?
No.
It's so it's about so I'll give you just like a brief synopsis. So basically there's this guy, he wants to have his wife kidnapped, and his wife is the daughter of a wealthy guy. And he's gonna have her kidnapped for ransom for his like some scheme to get money, I think. I forgot. I'm too buzzed, just a little bit buzzed, like but for the record.
I just got a little bit about it, but
Yeah, and anyway, but it has a scheme to have his wife kidnapped, but it goes horribly wrong, and a bunch of people end up dying, and the main character, like the sort of main character, is like this pregnant cop, who's the most Midwestern person you've ever seen. Like like He's the most Midwestern person you've seen since moving here in Wisconsin.
I see.
Just like that kind of person.
Yeah.
Like, she'll just be really like friendly and casual about like the investigating more like, oh, gee, God, I don't know, whatever the fuck Midwestern people want to say is like, mind if I sit down here, carrying quite a load and pregnant, that kind of shit, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm gonna go to Culver's.
yeah. Not
Get
sure
some
that's a line in the movie, but
cheeseburgers.
that's roughly the vibe. That's the vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's a I don't know. It's another one of like just great. What I like about movies, you know, it's just a great self-contained story with a very distinct and like clear theme that like kind of wraps up together at the end. Um, and again, I was like since moving to Wisconsin, like recognize the Midwestern stereotypes is pretty funny. It's a movie. It also is like a movie. It's like very subtly funny in a dark way, which I really like. It's not that subtle, I guess, but it's but yeah.
What's that? What the fuck is that one? Is that Madoka Magica?
Which one? The one at the far left?
Top left. Yeah.
Yeah. This one was when I was doing research for one of my projects, but
Was it the one where how to
Yeah.
be a girl?
that's not really what it is. But
Yeah.
anyway,
No, but you were researching how to be a girl for it.
anyway, the I don't know. It's I actually watched the first couple episodes. I was like, I don't really care that much, and then but after I watched like the main series and got to kind of like the I don't know, like it. My only problem, not the only problem, but like one of the main problems. It just is like the main like the anime bullshit where it just like has a bunch of like convoluted rules about the world and it's just kind of like, okay, man, guess so. And same thing with the Fallout movie Rebellion. Not that I didn't like the movie, I did like the movie, but it just felt like convoluted anime bullshit, you know? Nope.
I never even finished Madoka Magica. I just got bored. For me, that's
How much did you
B-tier
watch?
thing. I watched like the first like 4 episodes.
Yeah, it definitely like gets more interesting towards like the later. It's kind of hypocritical as I say like I don't like the convoluted like weeb bullshit, but at the same time that's like where it gets interesting. So I don't know.
Although
But
I'm gonna dip. I just wanted to pop in and see how you guys were doing, and I hope you both have a great night.
have
Nice.
fun. Anyway, what was that? Yeah, I'd say it's I liked it, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. It's nice, nice B tier, maybe even C tier. I don't know. It's on the borderline. It's borderline. Rocky. Yeah, Rocky. I actually really like this movie. I've never seen like the original Rocky.
The original?
Yeah, the original Rocky. It's like it's weird because like the later Rocky movies become more like Hollywood action movie. Like, oh yeah, here's Rocky. He's gonna beat up the bad guy. Blah blah blah. Like he's
yeah,
fighting like
he
Apollo
loses.
Creed. Like the first one's like very like you know how the first one goes. Are you aware
He
of it?
loses, right?
Yeah, he loses and he's just like, yeah, there's fucking no way I can win this fight. But my personal goal, I'm just gonna go the distance, do what I can. Fight as hard as I can, and whatever happens, happens. And at the end of the movie, as they're announcing, like the what I love is when they're announcing the result, and he just trying to look for his girlfriend, and he's like excited that he achieved his personal goal. And I found that very inspirational. And obviously the soundtrack is amazing, classic Rocky theme and all that. And I don't know. Also before that, like just the movie's very like raw looking in the sense that I was reading some like the reviews when it came out. There's like, yeah, Sylvester Stallone is a terrible actor. It sounds like he's just mumbling his lines. Like what is this? But I think that's a genius of it. He's just like some dumb, horrifically brain damaged, like mediocre boxer, and it's like kind of he's like some of the interactions are like kind of awkward, and it's like he's broken. Like his life is like really I don't know. It's just like life fucking
Very
sucks.
inspirational.
Yeah, it's very inspirational. Like,
He finds happiness in despite or maybe even because of his life.
yeah, and like and obviously like in spite of his life, because the life actually does suck, and it's like through part of the movie, you kind of think like maybe this guy just like a guy that's he doesn't know that he's a bum and his life sucks, but like later towards like the 2/3 point of the movie, you kind of realize like he actually does realize his life fucking sucks, and he is a bum, but in spite of that, he's still gonna like give it his all, like in this big final fight.
Okay.
So yeah, great movie. John Dark. This game was okay. It's a strategy RPG, kind of like a Fire Emblem type of game. I just didn't get that into it. I don't know. It just didn't have the same vibes.
Fire
And,
Emblem made your like top 100. It was like 90 something, right?
yeah, I mean, a couple of Fire Emblem games did. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. It's like a very solid like game of that genre. I just didn't get that into it, and maybe I'll probably play it a little bit more if I have more time in the future. But for now, it's just kind of all right. It's also just like a pretty long game, so maybe if I play it a little bit more, I'll like it. RE4 remake. It's like A tier, S tier. It's pretty close. Put less.
I think if there's doubt, maybe you should say A tier. I think that's like a distinguishing
I'll just
characteristic.
put it S tier, and I'll just move it down. It's easier to move things down
Okay.
and
Okay.
normalize the list later on. But yeah, Resident Evil 4. I mean, one of my favorite games of all time for sure. And the remake, modernized it while like, being very familiar. Had a lot of great quality of life changes. Good remixes on kind of classic scenes. Got a good twist on like what you'd expect like to happen in the remake, but something a little bit different happens. Graphics are great. The one thing like a lot of people would probably disagree with is that I actually like Ashley in the original more. Like she was more annoying and stupid and annoying, and yeah, and less likable. But I actually kind of like that about her. That I don't know. The new one, like she kind of feels like she's meant to be liked, like almost in a way like they want you to like her too much in the sense that she's like kind of inoffensive. The original one, she was really annoying, but it made her very memorable. So I actually kind of like that version of her more. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
All right, what next?
What do we want to end on? Well, do we want to end on Baldur's Gate Overwatch TF2?
Let's end on TF2, I guess.
Okay, we'll end on okay. In that case, what's the very bottom one?
This is Sunshine in the Mirror. It's a weird spin-off of Love Live. I've never actually seen any of the Love Lives, but it's like a fantasy spin-off. It just like has the characters and like a fantasy. It's not like alternate universe. It's like this is just like or it's not like they're transported to an alternate universe. It's just like them in an alternate universe where it's
I
like
see.
if they were in a fantasy setting.
I see.
I just didn't find it that interesting, but it was kind of chill. Like it was okay. It wasn't. I think I probably would have liked it more if I like knew the original characters.
Okay, yeah.
All right, what next?
So what you're saying is you need to pirate the Love Live movie.
No, I'm not gonna watch Love Live, man. I'm not gonna fucking watch Love Live.
Kraken?
Eat the Kraken. Ever played that?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
What even is that?
It's like a social deduction type game. It's a board game.
I see.
My only experience of it is playing it when I get really bad sleep every day, so I play something after work. I'm really tired and don't know what's going on. And the only times I play this is like with some people after work, and I'm tired and don't know what's going on, so I can't do any deduction. I just do stuff, and somehow I've won like most of the times we played. I've done no social deduction. I've just got lucky. But it was pretty fun to play. So I think it's a very well designed game. It's like nice and short, like 30-ish minutes. But and like still like Blazing Letters, like Secret Hitler, Among Us, that type of game.
I see.
All those aspects. So it's a really well designed game. It's very cleverly designed. I really appreciate it.
Is that the Aphelios challenge?
Yes.
All right. What's the Aphelios challenge
Just
compared to?
S tier. Fuck you, Miles. That's all I have to say.
Okay, Red Faction.
Red Faction. This game is like it hasn't aged as well as I thought it did, but it's still. I mean, there's a lot of like weird pop and the world's like more empty than I remember, but it still has like some of the best destruction physics of any game, even like compared to modern games. And like some of the third-person shootings, like kind of like the vehicle kind of it's missing a lot of quality of life features, but overall, like it's like I said, just like the destruction mechanics of like being able to like destroy any like actual building. Definitely is like pretty unprecedented compared to like even modern games.
What's the one to the right of Oshinoko?
Oh, Zombie
Second
100. This is another one that's just kind of okay. It's
That's
like
B. That's pretty good.
yeah, it's B. You know,
Okay.
it's another one kind of like Nier that was also like semi-canceled halfway through, so I never finished watching it.
Honestly, I feel like considering like you didn't finish Nier, you didn't finish Zombie 100, but then the Kaguya movie is also in B tier. Like that feels wrong.
No,
No, this is accurate. You
I
like
mean I didn't finish them because like I couldn't finish them.
well,
They're finished now, but like it's like after I'd already like forgotten even what happened, you know, that kind of shit, you know.
what the fuck? I don't know. I guess I don't get it, but whatever.
Elaborate.
Well, if you okay, so it's not that so you enjoyed them, but like you physically weren't able to finish them. But like so it's like if you started watching the Kaguya movie and then the power went out and then you couldn't finish the Kaguya movie, you would still put Kaguya movie in B tier.
Yeah, but I mean, the difference is like if the power comes out, that's like the next day. This is like it resumed like several months later. It's like at that point, like I don't know.
And you just didn't want to recommit.
Yeah, kind of like yeah, you know. It's like I think this one's like more close to C tier. I think Neo would still be B tier.
Okay, sure. I just wanted clarification on that because I was like, you know, what
Okay.
the fuck is that? Is that another isekai one? The
Which
second
one?
one
This
after Oshinoko? I want.
no, this is not
Yeah.
an isekai. It was it's like semi historical, semi fantasy shoujo type of show. I stopped watching after the sixth episode, not because like it was bad or anything, just because like I felt like the sixth episode was like a good climax, and then like even though there's still stuff unresolved, it's like kind of like okay, yeah, that makes sense. I've seen enough, and then I just never felt like watching it again.
That's actually very interesting that you were like, all right, the part that I got cared about got resolved.
And then like it's actually the same thing with this one, the fucking Yuri one, where there's like kind of like a semi like half climax halfway through at like episode 6, and it's like okay, that's fine, I'm done. I don't need more.
Uh, what's the very last one? Just
Stray Gods.
Gods. Yeah.
This one's like kind of borderline. I'll put a B tier just because I admire the ambition. I'm like halfway-ish through it. I don't know. I haven't finished it yet. I just like not got around to it.
What
It's
is it?
it's a sort of like Telltale type game, but it's like a musical. And
I
like
see.
a lot of your choices like go like while they're singing songs. You like pick what direction to go like while they're singing the song. The songs are like okay. They're not like that memorable, but it's like a very like unique take on the idea. So I respect it. It's like it's also like another like one of those like pseudo like urban Greek mythology type games, if you know what I mean.
I see. Get the what's the funny isekai one in the middle? I mean, not. I assume that's also an isekai. I see the one that's like where it's
Which
the
one?
Atomi game, but then there's the one to the left of it as well.
Oh, this is just like a romance one.
Oh, it's just a regular romance one.
Honestly, this one's C tier. Unfortunately, I actually really wanted to like this one, but it wasn't that interesting. And the ending of the thing I heard was like not that good, and didn't
What is
really
it?
resolve anything. It's like the ice guy. It's just like I don't know. It's just like some like snowman motherfucker who works in an office, and
Oh yeah, and then like he likes her, but
yeah,
because he's Snow, he can't like they can't. Yeah, that one. I remember I started reading that like and then like I saw after like 4 chapters that there was absolutely zero progress, and I'm like, yeah, this author there's definitely never going to do anything.
actually what no, I actually watched the TV show version, and it was actually like I actually felt like the problem was like I felt like there actually was progress for the first few episodes. This is like paced a lot better, I guess probably. But then like after that, like there's actually like literally negative progress. It actually like took a step back, which is really disappointing. It felt like oh maybe they'll like actually have like a relationship.
Yeah, like something went wrong, and then they're like, oh my god, we can't do this anymore.
No, it wasn't even like that. It's just like nothing happened.
Oh wow,
It's like
okay.
it wasn't even like oh like it wasn't even like they regressed in the story. It's like the author just decided to stop writing progress and just like went backwards. I don't know. It's kind of
I see.
bizarre. The reason I don't put a D tier though is I really like the character designs. The character designs are actually nice.
I thought the fundamental idea was kind of cool, but like yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was also reading I think I was also reading the Twitter version, which was like the before it got like serialized. Like he just released a bunch of short chapters. Might have been part of the problem, but like whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I really like the character designs for like the main character, pretty much like all the main cast is like
Okay,
they have a
let's
nice look, you know, and
okay
it's
okay
but unfortunately nothing happened.
okay. Let's do
Tragic.
all the anime shit in between Overwatch and TF2.
Uh, let's do Dungeons and Dragons, my favorite anime.
Yeah,
This movie was way better than I thought it'd be.
it actually was pretty a lot of fun. Yeah.
Like you told me like yeah, you know, Andy one, you know, and you're gonna and some other people are gonna see this movie. Is like, yeah, I'll come along. It probably won't be very good, but you know, I'll just come and chill. But it was actually like pretty funny. It's I thought it was just gonna be like a generic fantasy that has like characters and settings from like the Dungeons and Dragons like lore, but it's actually like kind of like the vibe of Dungeons and Dragons. It's just like stupid shit happens, and it's like kind of funny,
Yeah.
which I didn't expect, but I'm glad they went that direction. So it was actually pretty good. I definitely say it's like one of the most most surprisingly good shows I've seen or movies I've seen this year.
What about Class of '09?
We already.
No, so
That's
what,
right.
what is that? Is that more surprising or less surprising
That
than
was not
Class of?
surprised. I expected to like that because I thought it'd be funny because it's not like serious. It's just
Yeah.
goofy.
Okay. Okay. All right. Rest of the animes. Let's go.
All right, what is this? Oh, this is the season 2 of
Season two
the
farming one.
the OG
The
villainous
OG
bullshit.
villainous. Yeah.
Honestly, I
It
think
fell off. It
yeah,
fell off.
the first season was like a nice like self-contained story. Like there was like no reason for continuation. It was just like
Yeah. No, I'll be honest. When I saw the next chapter get released of that one, I was like, what do you mean they're done?
yeah,
They
it's just like
they all love her. What is there to continue?
yeah, like the original was like season was great. You know, it's just like you know nice self-contained story, surprisingly good. And it's like there's no reason to continue. It's like after that, it's like okay. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but honestly, I'm just gonna put a D because I'm offended by the fact they continued something that didn't need to be continued.
Let's see.
Which one? Actually can't see what this one is.
I have no idea.
I need to zoom
Oh,
in
it's
more.
okay. Wait, no, it's on the tip of my tongue what this
Oh, this
is.
is Zombieland Saga Revenge. This is actually B tier, C tier
Oh,
actually, but it's like a good C tier. You know,
I see.
it's
I
actually
like how zooming in actually did nothing to like increase the image size pretty much.
I'm gonna
It
put
was
B
very
tier.
weird.
I don't know. It's like borderline. I'm gonna put a B tier because you know it was one of those. It ramped up pretty well, and the original I had high hopes for because it's the first couple episodes are really chaotic and interesting, and then it kind of just became like generic Wii idol anime, and then this one was like more consistently just chaotic and more interesting. So I'd actually put it B tier. This is more like what the original I wanted the original to be. I feel like
I see.
I'm gonna urinate. See, contemplate for a minute.
All right, I will contemplate for a minute. My contemplations. Let's give some predictions of what's gonna happen. So I think smoking will get a B. I think Oshinoko will get an. I think it deserves an S tier, but you know I think he'll put it in A. Um, Baldur's Gate 3, I think he'll put in maybe even S, but I'd probably just A. Overwatch 2 probably will get a B or C. Not really sure. I don't know what the anime is. I can't tell. TF2 TF2 gets the reluctant S, I believe. Spy X Family will probably get a A or B. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think he liked it, so I think it'll get an A. Uh, maybe B. Peacemaker will probably be a B or C. Snap, I think, will probably be A. Warzone will probably be a C. All right, we'll see how accurate these predictions hold up. You back?
All right, I'm back. What's
All
next?
right, I gave some predictions of what's up next.
Oh.
Like, let's do the last anime because I'm aware of the rest of what the rest of
Yeah,
these
this
are. so-
one's like F tier. It's F tier because it was one of those that tricks y'all. Mahou Shoujo Magical Story, it trick y'all. It don't do nothing. Just running around animating bullshit.
I see. All right.
It's okay. Let me be more specific though. One as like one of the shittiest episodes I've ever seen, and episode 4. One other thing is like the intro and outro are like pretty interesting looking, so it makes me want. I'm someone that gets like baited into watching TV shows, because I'm like, oh man, the intro is pretty cool. I like it, and then that's why I watched it, and then it ends up like the show is like not good at all. But like there's times where it's like as moments of promise, where it's like, oh, maybe something interesting is happening, but then no, nothing interesting happens. The ending was a little bit okay. I don't know. It just wasn't good. It was like one of those shows that made me think something good might happen, but then it didn't. It was just meh.
I see. Where's smoking going?
I think it's B tier. It's solid. What do you
I think
think?
I predicted. I think I predicted that you would put it in B. I like when you were gone. I just went through and predicted what you would put for all of these. But smoking, to me, I read the. Is there anime?
No.
Okay, cool. Good. There shouldn't be. I think it's a C. I
Really?
think it's very like. It I think it is just there. I don't know.
I don't know.
Honestly, like it doesn't do anything bad, so maybe it deserves a B because it doesn't do anything bad. But like I had absolutely like no attachment. I was just like, all right, cool. I get, and like the gimmick was,
A smoking commercial.
yeah, it's a smoking commercial. It's just a fucking Family guy that comes up and says smoke.
I like
Like
to.
like he has a discussion with the lady up front and then smoke. And then it turns, oh my god, the lady up front's the lady in the back. Oh my god. And then that's cool. I don't know if any progress has been made on that. Probably not. That would remove the whole gimmick. Um the
I don't think. I do think the gimmick is kind of weird. Like, why is this guy so stupid?
yeah,
It's
no,
like this doesn't really add anything, honestly.
yeah. Like honestly, I feel like without the gimmick, I would honestly like it more. They could just be two friends chilling, but like instead they're like two friends chilling, and then there's also a gimmick. Anyways, next one.
I just like my take. I just like the vibes. It's just as
Okay.
one thing I like about the vibes. It's as far as I remember, pretty much all of it takes place at night. And I like things like that, where it's like late night vibing.
Live commentary.
Yeah, just chill. I don't know. Also, like it has
Cool vibes.
what is yeah, but yeah, I think it's okay. It's only like it's not even that many chapters in. It's only like one of those pacing things. Like if this was like already done, maybe I'd like it more or less. But it's hard to tell when it's only like 25 chapters in.
Okay. I think okay, let's do Peacemaker next. I think you would put it in B, but maybe
No, I'd
A.
put Peacemaker in like probably S tier. Honestly,
Really?
yeah, this is like one of my favorite shows. Or most surprisingly good shows I've seen lately. It's another show that like has a nice like beginning, middle, and end arc.
I see.
It has one of the best, my favorite intros of all time, where they do that ridiculous dance.
Yeah.
The it just has so many memorable lines like, "Yeah, I cherish cheap peace with all my heart. I'll kill any man, woman, or child to do it." Or, dude, what's his name? Vigilante, where he's like, you know, when I kill somebody, and when they're murderer or selling someone heroin or doing some graffiti, and I kill that person with my bare hands, their eyeballs popping out of their skull. You think that makes me feel good as a person? And the other guy's like, no. Well, it does. And like, I vibe with that. I like that. I like your style. Not that I feel that way, but I respect it in a way.
Okay. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is an S for your next one.
I'm undecided. You know,
Oh,
right now
A or S?
it's A
Yeah.
tier right now. It's a really good game. I just haven't finished yet. I'm like halfway through, so could go up, could go down. So far from here, and probably will go up, but for now, just an A tier.
Okay.
Like what I like about Baldur's Gate 3 compared to the other like computer type CRPGs I've played, like Pillars of Eternity or not what's the other one, Divinity Original Sin, ones that are in that same style. But I just like played a few hours and get into. It's like it's really easy to get into Baldur's Gate 3. It's just like very similar to 5e, so it's like very accessible, I guess. And from there, like the story built around it is pretty well done, and there's a lot of options, very responsive, like the choice you want to make. So yeah, it's a good game.
Okay. Warzone, I thought would be probably C or something.
Also, nothing I want to say about Baldur's Gate. The only thing I problem I have with it so far is that it has like Mass Effect party member syndrome, where it just feels like all your
Everyone
party,
wants to fuck you.
huh?
Everyone wants to fuck you.
Yes, that. And also, just like even if they don't want to fuck you, it just seems like everyone wants to suck your dick. Like not like even if not literally, just metaphorically. It just seems like everyone's made to love you and made to be lovable. But I don't know.
Warzone,
Warzone-
3 has C. I think I
Warzone's
would put.
D tier. I just don't like that game. The only reason I played was because Hypno was playing. I was like, all right, I'll play a couple games, but it was just not. I just got destroyed by people that. It's not the game's fault. I just don't think it was. I just didn't have fun, and it's also not that well optimized, and it's fucking gigantic on your hard drive.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, I would think you would put an A.
Yeah, I think it's an A tier. It's not quite S tier, but it's like one of the most interesting blends of like genres I've seen, where everything like drama, comedy, action, kung fu, sci-fi. It mixes like all those things like so well. With, like one of the more interesting, like unique protagonists in Hollywood, where it's like some 6-year-old woman, or Asian like immigrant. It's definitely different, but and definitely has like some of the more like weird but fun storytelling, kind of like weirdish film techniques, and it handles like some of like multiverse stuff like better than a lot of other TV shows I've seen, or in TV shows or movies or any sort of story I've seen. So yeah, I definitely put it up there. I think it deserves the hype.
Okay. Spy X Family, I think B or A.
Yeah, this is specifically like the anime for season 2.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say it's B. I'd probably I might even put it higher, but the only problem is like I've already like read it, so it's less
Yeah,
impactful the
yeah,
second time around. But I think it's a pretty good adaptation of it. It's fine. It's just not like a must watch, so I'd put it B tier. Yeah, one thing I like about like the series in general is like one of those things you can like show people and people aren't like, oh, you watched that thing. It's like, oh, kind of suspicious. It's just kind of like it's very wholesome.
Yeah. Let's do Overwatch 2. I would.
This one's hard.
I don't know what the thoughts on Overwatch.
Honestly, I think it's fine. I think Overwatch 2 is like a solid game. It's an okay game. I don't love it, but I don't dislike it either.
It's not like C by definition, or
No, because like sometimes I do like it more than usual. Because
okay.
like when I think back to like playing it,
You remember the good times, even
Yeah,
though you
remember
know
the
that they're
yeah.
bad.
yeah, and like like some of the characters in particular like feel good to play, and there's like certain metas and patches that are like particularly bad to play, but then there's some that are like more fun to play than others. So I think it averages out to B tier.
Okay. What about Snap? A
Marvel
as
Snap,
well.
you know, I think Marvel Snap is A tier. I think it's like one of the more well-designed games. A lot of people say, in terms of like card games, it's like too simplistic, and it is really simplistic. That is true. But it's really good for one casual play, and on top of that, like it has like implements like aspects of like poker rather than other card games, where it's not just like about winning or losing. It's about knowing like when to fold and when to
When
raise.
to hold and when to fold.
Yeah, but like it's more about like not just winning the game. It's about like maximizing your gains and making consistent decisions, even if you know you're gonna lose. Like knowing it's like okay to like lay something down and like forfeit. rather than because like, do you know how the mechanic works roughly for that game?
And I know there's like 3 lanes and you want to win 2 of them.
There's that, but it's more like outside of that, the ranks. The way the rank works is that you start out like betting 1 rank point basically, and then you can snap, which doubles the amount of rank points on the line. And if your opponent snaps, then that doubles the rank points. And then if it goes to the showdown at the end, then it doubles rank points again. So like you can be between like 1 and 8 rank points. It's like so it can like you might be able to like win and dominate a game, but you might only get 1 rank point because your opponent's smart and just like, okay, well, it's obviously you're gonna win this, so I'm gonna forfeit. There's like kind of the strategy of like, okay, well, I want to win, but I can't make it too obvious I'm gonna win, or I have to like make my opponent think he's gonna win, but then I have like a secret ace that's gonna win, or I can sometimes you can even like throw in a bluff that I'm gonna snap to make my opponent think that I'm gonna win, but I actually am fucking lying. So
I see.
yeah, that's like that kind of gambling aspect to it, which I really like. So
You
even though it's like
you really are a gambler.
it's a simple game, but like it adds like interesting like depth in that sense. And
I see. Yeah, no, that's actually I like that the gambling part of it actually that you can because I feel like that I wouldn't care about like games like Hearthstone being unfair if that was added because like in Hearthstone it's like dude I'm just playing against a fucking like pirate warrior or something. I'm going to use an old example because I haven't played fucking Hearthstone for in like forever. Last I played was like the fucking literally the pirate warrior meta. I'm playing against a pirate warrior and I'm just like, dude, I fucking lost, and me losing to that pirate warrior in like 3 minutes is like the same as me losing like a fucking hard fought like
yeah,
you
just
know
like
like
30-minute
tournament
game
match.
where everyone like goes like whatever you call overdraw the
Yeah,
where you
like
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 out
put
of
into
cards.
fatigue and shit, and it's like, and those games like are fun because like you know you're really like stressing your deck to the limit, and like maybe I would like bet more in those types of games where I'm like, oh, like in the maybe in the mid game I'm like, dude, there's such a good swing, I'm gonna like snap or something and bet more or something. But and it's like winning that would be like really satisfying, and it's like losing it's like it feels bad, but you're like okay whatever. But then like I just play against a pirate warrior and it's like, well, it literally doesn't matter what I do because it's the game is determined by the other guy's curve versus like, oh, this that becomes more of a complaint about Hearthstone at that point, but like whatever.
Yeah. Another thing I like about Snap is one, it's really easy to get like a decent deck. You don't need to pay to win. It's not a very pay to win game. Like with Hearthstone, I got to the point where I like playing Hearthstone. It was just that like I couldn't play enough, so I'd fall behind and I'd have to like pay a bunch of money to like catch up. So that wasn't very fun. And also the games in Snap are like it's the maximum amount of turns is 6, occasionally 7. But like 99% of it is 6 turns. So you can play a game in literally like 3 minutes and just move on to the next one.
Mm.
And so it's like, you know, so, like literally like, you're waiting for something out. You're at work, you're just like waiting for something to load. And it's like, I can just play a quick game of Snap here while I wait or something like that, you know?
I see. All right,
Um,
Oshinoko. I think
uh,
I would have put it in S, but I think you'll put it in A.
I'll put it in B tier for now.
Really?
I'll
Okay.
have to wait till, okay, first of all, the good parts, the intro to the anime version is really good. I really like the direction they took, having like the like movie linked in first episode. The like get past the prologue. Um, I like
But
that.
what's holding it back? Oh, sorry. Continue.
I think the character designs are pretty well done. I think the you know just the animation, just like the art style of the and just general production quality is it's really good. I'd say that like some things I don't like are one. I mean, it has just like kind of the unfinished story aspect that like I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. Maybe it'll have a really sick ending. I'll be like, oh, A tier. Maybe it'll have a really shit ending. I'll be like fucking F tier. But it's kind of hard to tell which direction it's gonna go. Those are like the weird thing that I feel like is a lot of people complain about, but I agree with is it's kind of like weird that like there's this guy that like, it feels like you're supposed to care about like the romance aspects, but it's like this is like a 40-year-old man like talking to like teenagers. That's kind of weird, champ. You know?
I mean, it kind of like gets away with it in the sense that he says that I am much less, and then he states like his previous name and much more Aqua at this point. So like he
Yeah, but they're kind of ambiguous with that. It's kind of. It just
no,
feels
no,
like
no.
kind of.
I feel like it's not. I feel like because they're like you in the recent chapters. She's literally like you literally like only care about. You don't even remember why you're like you want revenge. More so like you don't even remember. It's like something about like the original like feelings behind revenge or whatever. Like you all you feel is the revenge aspect. You don't really care about anything beyond that. Wasn't that like a statement made?
I don't remember. The I don't know. Kind of like it just feels weird. It just feels like this guy doesn't feel like a teenager in the sense that it just doesn't feel like age appropriate for the relationship. I don't know.
Maybe I'm like like way too like fucking uh, like accepting of like genius teenagers in anime or something because like I watched Death Note when growing up or whatever when I was like when I was like 14, right? So and in Death Note like they're literally teenagers and they're like the two smartest guys on earth, and then like the two guys that like solve the case in the end are also like teenagers and shit. So or like and then they're not even like they're like 12 or something 12 and like well the other one's like 7, it's like 12 and 17 or something like that. So again like teenagers, but one is like fucking preteen, you know. um and so because of that maybe I'm like way more willing to accept the fact that he's like a mature like teenager, and also like I'm okay with being like okay so he has like some aspects of himself that he's retained from like being reincarnated, but like at the end of the day, like he is now still like a child. Like he's Aqua. He's not like
Okay, like
the
the way I see it, like I can buy it for like Ruby because she's like didn't really get to live her life. She's like in a hospital bed for like half her life anyway. But with the dude, it's like I don't know. It's like it. There's like too many references to his past life where it's like pretty clear that
but no, but those that's the thing. After like at a certain point, those references start going away, and then like after that, they're like, oh wait, his like I am much more Aqua than I am fucking I
at
don't
some
remember.
point, like I think early on in the show they say that, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's true until like maybe way later on. So I don't know. Just feels a little weird, champ to me. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe. Anyway, my prediction for Team Fortress 2 was a reluctant S tier.
Uh,
It's either reluctant S tier or F tier. There's like I feel like
I actually don't know.
you see,
You know,
it's
I'm
like
gonna put an S tier because it's one of those games like Euro Truck Simulator that had an effect on my life. Where sometimes I'll be going about my day, I'll be thinking about my seventh place championship. I'll think, yeah, I did that. I did that. I played those 45 minutes. I accomplished that. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps with the help of a bunch of other people.
it's a team game. You guys really came together as a team.
What are we? Some kind of team fortress?
Yeah, dude, you
Well,
guys are really a team fortress too. Yeah.
so yeah, it's one of those games. Seventh place championship. That's something that it's not a good accomplishment, but it's like Rocky, where it's like maybe this isn't that impressive to the public, but
It's
you know,
actually your Rocky.
but it's what I wanted to do, and I achieved it.
It's your Rocky. That's crazy.
So now I define. So let's normalize the list. So let's go to portrait images, so it's like kind of easy to tell like how many are in which. A little too much in S tier. We're gonna move some stuff out of S tier, I think. Texas is back, so no argument there. I didn't play that much. Slay the Spire. I think Slay the Spire is just like such a well-designed game, though. I'm not gonna move it down. Aphelios Challenge. It was fun, but it wasn't as fun as playing Garen, so I'm gonna move it down. Peacemaker. I'll move it down to B.
I think you should start with moving things like
from B tier like into C tier or something,
Okay.
and
B
then
tier into C tier. I think this one can move to C tier.
is there anything in C tier that's D tier? Probably not, but B to C, I
D
feel like there's.
tier. This is D tier just because it didn't fucking work. Like
Okay.
if the game actually ran on on PC without crashing all the time, it'd be good. This one's also
That's what
probably D tier reluctantly because it's just it's more almost more disappointing. It says like missed potential. I really like how the some aspects of it, but it's just not that good in the end. This one, I feel like a roguelite type game not being addictive is like kind of a failure on its part. This one is like not even that bad, but I just don't think it's memorable. It's like, you know, this isn't my struggle. This is like you know, this is like a cartoonish representation of it, which is okay. But yeah. This one I didn't finish watching, so I guess move it down to D tier. I don't dislike it, but I think this one's it's not D tier though, because I'm not like I don't dislike it or anything. But I don't dislike these either. To be fair, I'll move it to D tier until more information.
I don't see the argument can be made for this one is because you haven't finished it, not because you haven't chosen, but because the wheel hasn't been there. So that's like its own thing, you know?
I mean, if I wanted to watch it though, I would have just watched it anyway. Like I watched Peacemaker, even though the wheel didn't tell me to.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Peacemaker's like always a potential S tier candidate.
Yeah, it's like
So-
borderline S tier. It's I think it's a good show. Let's see. Does this all make sense? Honestly, this one was like, even though I didn't want to watch more of it, like 6 episodes, like pretty. It was solid. It was okay.
Okay, now B to C.
B to C. No, I think that's about fair. I think it's about accurate. D. Is that thing that needs to be F? Nope. It's not F tier. It's not that bad. It's okay. It's excessively okay.
Okay.
A tier. Let's see.
Okay, A to B.
So I
I
didn't.
feel like
I like Euro Truck Simulator, but I didn't play it that much, so I'll probably give.
it
B tier.
affected your life.
That's
but,
true. It
like,
did affect my life. It affected my life in a negative way, though.
Yeah. It's like, you know, many people say League of Legends affected their life in a negative way, and they would not put a game in A tier because of that. So, you know, that's, you know.
Okay, I'm just putting Dark Souls Ring City in B tier because I haven't got to like the real final boss fight, which everyone says is the best boss, one of the best boss fights in the series. But I have got to the Poison Swamp, which fucking sucks. So I'll move it down to B for now. This one, I guess since I didn't comprehend this game, beat the Kraken because I was like not.
You put it
with it.
up there. You put it up there because you won.
Yeah, put it up there because I won, but I do respect the design. I think it's a well-designed game. I'll put a B tier for now. Yeah, these games, Class of 09 and Dungeons & Dragons, I thought those were surprisingly good. Good Omens.
I feel like the rest of these you would keep in the same tier. I would be surprised if you moved something from S tier down, and I would be surprised if you moved. Like the only thing you could potentially move down is like Texas be absolutely
No.
bricking it, and then it's like they're not back.
Actually, I'm adding a tier. I'm adding a tier.
Texas is back tier. Tejas is back. Orange because we're Texas. We're Tejas.
I have to change this
I
one.
also like how you put X instead of S, so it's Tejas. Tejas. Tejas.
It's pronounced Tejas. Or
With
as,
an X at the end.
oh, Tehax? No.
Yeah, Tejas.
Yeah. Tehax.
That's what I was struggling with. Tejas is back.
Alright. Any other questions?
No, I think that I'm fine with this now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
honestly think that Texas is back deserves its own tier. I agree with you.
All right. So this so concludes my year in review of all the consumerist media I've watched or played or otherwise consumed while drinking. Another form of capitalist consumption. Yeah.